In view of prevailing pandemic situation of COVID-19, it is worth for all of us to know the physiological and clinical aspects of the coronavirus disease because it particularly affects the respiratory system of the body. I'll be talking about this very briefly. So first of all, we'll see the introduction. In December 2019, atypical pneumonia cases of unknown cause reported from Wuhan city of China. Fever, dry cough, shortness of breath, fatigue, loss of taste are the usual presentation of such atypical cases. Cause found out to be a member of coronavirus family named as novel coronavirus 2019 nCoV by WHO. International Committee on Viral Taxonomy called it as SARS-CoV-2, called as severe acute respiratory syndrome caused by coronavirus 2. The pneumonia caused by such novel coronavirus is called as COVID-19 or coronavirus disease 2019. WHO declared COVID-19 as pandemic in March 2020. So coming to the structure of coronavirus, so it is of 60 to 140 nanometer in size and of single-stranded RNA covered by glycoproteins and lipids. On electron microscopy, spike glycoproteins resemble like crown, hence named as coronavirus. Coronum is the Latin term for crown. They usually reside in bats, snakes, civets, that is similar to cats, mouse, etc. Novel coronavirus most probably thought to be derived from bats and snakes, leading to human transmission when the people consume these bats and snakes. So coming to the modes of transmission, COVID-19 is a highly infectious disease which spreads through the droplet nuclei when the person sneezes, and the fomites, that is any surfaces and handshaking, and through infected person, and the incubation period of this disease is usually 2 to 14 days from the day of infection. Coming to the pathophysiology of the disease, COVID-19 in droplets from infected person enter a new host and deposited in the nasal and pharyngeal mucous membrane, and from there it enters the lungs. In lungs especially it attaches to the ACE2 receptor and then it fuses and undergoes various processes of transcription, translation and then replication, and then producing the new protein from the rough endoplasmic reticulum and then form the vesicles, and then through exocytosis it is released outside the cell. So it uses the person's cell machinery to replicate and reproduce. Then the clinical features. So if the person is having good immune system, he is not able to show the clinical features or symptoms. And suppose if the person is very much immunocompromised, like an elderly more than 65 years and having many comorbid conditions like hypertension, diabetes mellitus and any chronic disease, that persons are very much susceptible to the COVID-19, and also children or less than 10 years are also more susceptible. So how the disease is manifested? So it will be in 3 phases: early infection phase, pulmonary phase and severe hyperinflammatory phase. So in early infection phase there will be irritation of throat. So severe throat irritation will be present, and dry cough. Dry cough is a major important symptom, and then fever, myalgia, headache are all the minor symptoms, and many are asymptomatic. So this is very important. So many people affected by COVID-19 are asymptomatic, and recovery of the persons will be within 2 to 6 weeks if they are if they are having good immune system. And then if this phase goes to the pulmonary phase, in this the COVID-19 proliferates in the lung parenchyma, causing its injury or destruction. So there will be vasodilation and increased endothelial permeability, and the pulmonary damage goes on increasing, leading to hypoxia. So from the hypoxia, the condition may lead to very much increased release of cytokines. So it is called cytokine storm. So that will lead to again septic shock and sepsis. and that will again lead to multi-organ system dysfunction or multi-organ dysfunction syndrome. So these septic shock and then multi-organ system dysfunction comes under the severe hyperinflammatory phase. Okay, so first early infection phase and then pulmonary phase in which the lung parenchyma is completely damaged and destructed, and finally septic shock and then multi-organ dysfunction comes under the hyperinflammatory phase. So it is difficult to differentiate coronavirus disease from the flu and common cold because the three diseases, COVID-19, flu and cold, they all have more or less similar features, that is similar symptoms: dry cough, fever, stuffy nose, sore throat, shortness of breath, headache, body aches, etc. So how to differentiate particularly COVID-19 is that from the travel history. So history of travel within 14 days to endemic area or contact with the infected person are must to diagnose COVID-19. Coming to the diagnosis of the disease, so as I have told you, again we have to take the detailed travel history and then clinical history, and we have to suspect the COVID-19 symptoms. And the gold standard for diagnosis of COVID-19 is RT-PCR assay on nasal and throat swabs. Okay, so it is RT-PCR assay on nasal and throat swabs. So pulmonary function tests are contraindicated in view of high infectivity of the procedure. So coming to the management of COVID-19, so before treating, it is worth to know the preventive measures. So the main important measures are social distancing, frequent hand wash, use of sanitizer and face mask. I hope you all are following these preventive measures. Isolation and or quarantine of suspected or confirmed cases, and tracing of contacts of suspected or confirmed cases. And the treatment options are, as we know already, there is no specific treatment for COVID-19 till now, and only symptomatic treatment is going on, and there is hydrochloroquine prophylaxis given to healthcare workers, and the vaccine production is under process. So thank you. I hope you all got the gist of COVID-19 pandemic. So stay home, stay safe. Thank you.